various schools taking various approaches towards trying to prevent active shooter situations in their school. And I don't know that everybody ever really introduces Faster Saves Lives properly, so I want to talk about it a little bit today. So as he said, it stands for Faculty Administration, Safety, Training, and Emergency Response. It's all encompassing. It's not just about firearms. So it's a 40-hour program. It is a standardized curriculum that's nationwide that we started in Ohio many, many years ago after the Sandy Hook school shooting. A lot of it is very similar to the U.S. Marshals program, and some of the other active shooter response training has come out from this program. It was developed by John Benner and some of the group over at Tactical Defense Institute. It's been around for a really long time, and we spent several years with the Arizona Citizens Defense League convincing them to let us go and move this program here into Arizona. Since it's gotten started, we've got more than 20 public schools involved, probably an additional 10 private schools involved throughout the state of Arizona. So we've proudly armed all of Apache County in the northeastern part of Arizona, and we've also worked into another county that hasn't made it public yet, but we've armed all 15 schools in that county as well. So we're hoping to advance and continue moving across Arizona. So a little bit about Fasters. We want to come out, we want to meet and see what kind of security school program you already have in place. If there are school resource officers, we invite them out to do the training with us. It helps give us a little bit more credibility and buy-in. Also, this type of training, this force-on-force training, not a lot of law enforcement gets to do a lot of it, so if they get to come and check it out and see what it's like, they absolutely love it. So we've had a number of deputies come through it. They swear by it. They've really enjoyed it as well. We look at all the safety procedures that they have in place. So if they're using magnetic door locks, if they have lockdown drills, emergency evacuation drills, we look at the timing that they're open, the time that they're closed. We're looking at all of their emergency protocols and plans, and we're evaluating all of it, and we're testing it in the force-on-force training. So we actually simulate various emergencies, whether it's a disgruntled employee that decides they want to do something, or if it's a disgruntled parent that's coming on campus and starting something, or if it's in fact an actual student. We put them through all these various scenarios so we can measure and see how their standard operating procedures actually prevent that crisis from happening. And then we use those failures to modify their program and incorporate a lot of the lessons that we're teaching. So again, this program's more than 40 hours long. Some of it incorporates some firearms training, and we put them through the Arizona Police Officer Standardized Test. In order for them to pass the course, they have to pass with a 210 or higher, which is the same standard as our local law enforcement here in the state of Arizona. We obviously encourage them to try and continue their training, and in level 2, we start working towards progressing them to work more from concealment, and we also work more with them to try and get them to pass the FBI Standardized Test. Okay, so it's an even higher qualification. Some of the other stuff that we do is the tactical combat casualty care medicine. So they learn first aid, CPR, AED, stop the bleed, as well as tourniquets and pressure bandages and things like that. We incorporate all of the medical into the force-on-force scenarios. So once again, if they have the idea that they're going to stop this thing and do a school lockdown and then treat the injured, we get to test all levels of their training and their performance, and we're able to sort of mold this program for their specific school and what they feel comfortable with. We also like to keep this program as secret as possible. So although the staff might volunteer certain individuals, whether they work in maintenance or they're school nurses or they're part of the administration, or in fact a teacher, we don't want to disclose their names, identities, and things like that. Even if they pass our program, they go through the 40 hours and they pass with flying colors, the school staff still gets to determine who they actually want to carry on campus concealed and who they don't, and what those roles look like. And they're going to incorporate them into their specific SOPs that they have for their school system. So this creates a very win-win, because now we have a nationally recognized standard of training that they can go off of. So when they say, well, what is it you guys have learned, and what is it that you're teaching, and where did you develop this course curriculum or material? They're not saying, well, Bob or Joe down the street has done this, or everybody has a CCW from, you know, Terry, Carrie, and Joe. Now they can say that they've gone through law and legal, they've gone through more than 40 hours of firearms training, and they've also gone through tactical combat casualty care from these folks that are certified through this organization. And even then, they still have final say over who it is that they want to have involved in the program. So I'm very proud of it so far. We've worked with more than 30 schools statewide in the past 2 years. We've raised a lot of money to fund this program, so it's little or to no money out of pocket from the schools themselves. There's plenty of grants and scholarships that they can apply for, especially for the medical side for their school. And there's been many schools that don't feel comfortable necessarily with the firearm program, but they absolutely want to have the medical training. And there's lots of federal funding for the medical training, so this doesn't cost us any additional tax dollars. Okay, we do love private donations, so if you guys are interested in helping donate to the Arizona Citizens Defense League Foundation, our booth is down there to my left, and we would love to be able to use those funds to help pay for the ammunition, the hearing, the eye protection, as well as the training for all these school staff so that they can attend this and see what it's all about. And if you guys have more questions for me about this, I'll be at that booth at the end there and be more than happy to answer those questions for you throughout the rest of today. You can also check us out at the Arizona Citizens Defense League Foundation.org website and look for Faster Saves Lives. You can go directly to the fastersaveslives.org website from Ohio and download information about that program. And what we're hoping to do is incorporate Faster Saves Lives in every school in Arizona, whatever component they feel comfortable with. There's a lot of other avenues of protecting schools out there. We have school resource officers, but they typically cost about $120,000 a year for each one that they have at a school. Okay, those are all tax dollars. The average response time for law enforcement is typically between 7 and 14 minutes. In the more rural areas, it can be even longer. The average length of time in an active shooting takes place is about 2 minutes. Okay, but either they end their own life or someone else ends their life for them. But the average amount of time is about 2 minutes. And then in that 2 minute time frame, they can typically injure or kill up to 60 individuals based on the national average. Okay, and this is all stems from the anti-gun policies that were put in place in 1994. Since 1994, each year we've had more active shootings taking place on school campus than all other years combined since 1630, all the way up to 1994. There's a total of 800 and something. In 1994, 1995, 96, it's been more than 800 since. Okay, so we need to fix the laws. We need to harden our schools. We need to train our staff in all preventative measures. We need to look at trying to bulletproof our schools. We need to work on our lockdown drills as well as our other emergency procedures. We need to medically train all of our teachers so that our students aren't bleeding out in 2 minutes waiting for law enforcement or EMS to arrive 7 to 14 minutes later. This program's open to law enforcement. I'll come teach any law enforcement agency that wants it. I'll come and do it so they can see what it's about. And I'll meet with any school board, any teacher, any private school, any church, anyone that wants to try and incorporate this into their program as well. So again, my name is David Laird. I'm with Faster Saves Lives. Please check us out. Thank you very much.
Right on time. Thank you, David Laird. Fantastic. So, full disclosure, I am the former president of the AZCDL Foundation, and David has been my awesome VP and my own personal firearms trainer. So, he is just every kind of awesome there is, and I just appreciate you investing in the way that you do, David, for the safety of our nation's children.